Good morning, everyone. My name is Hanna Olivas, and I am here coming live to you from Las Vegas, Nevada with She Rises Studios. I have a special guest joining me today from the book Breaking the Glass Ceiling that was just released on Tuesday. Her name is Cadena, and she is one of the extraordinary authors in the book. Dana is quite a powerhouse. She is involved in the finance world, real estate, public speaker. She travels the country sharing her story, sharing her expertise. So welcome.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Hanna. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. This is such a meaningful book and platform and project. So thank you for your genius.
No, thank you. I read your chapter a few times. And I love how you broke it down. So you named your chapter 7 Lessons to Thrive.
Yes.
And I read it over and over and over. And I was like, wow, this is really incredible. You went through some stuff
Yeah.
a little bit later in life, things that were unexpected. And so I don't want to give everything away because we really want everyone to grab the book, read the book.
Sure.
But you had a pivotal moment, something that happened when you were 39. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know what I feel like, and thank you for casting light on that. It's so funny. It's, we're so busy as entrepreneurs, as mama bears, as the wifey role and all the things. And, you blink and I had a life event happen. It's called Surprise Baby. Later in life, I was almost 40. And it's so interesting because I feel like there are no mistakes. And I was purposed to have a major change in my business at a time where I really needed to focus on family. And I think we all have kind of this push and pull, right? Because the purpose of work is to fund a great life. And you need to work in order to fund that great life. But don't forget to enjoy the life part. Because you can, right? Like you can make all the money in the world. And yet if you go home to a sad place, none of it's worth it in business. By the way, I love your mane, your hair.
This is Latina hair.
This is the real mastermind right here. Okay. I need to know how you get the volume and the coif. I mean, it's like, woof.
I have no idea. I just call it the Latina hair. It happens a lot. Or the line. Right? I don't know.
It's just, when you walk in the room, you own and bring the room. So that's the real mastermind. I'm just complimenting your fangirling here. But yeah, so like this huge life event happened and I'm striving to, take care of family and baby and then older child too and do all the things. And I just feel like, sometimes however you believe, whether it's spiritual, whether it's your faith, for me, it's my faith is I know I was pushed away from people, not bad people, just not my people in terms of, who I was building wealth for. And I think that we have a great opportunity to elevate and really look inward and say, who are we building wealth for? And are we in alignment with those people? And if not, you're not a tree. You can move.
Yeah, that's right. You can.
Am I crazy? Tell me if I'm crazy.
I love that. So you became a mom later in life, which is an extraordinary blessing. You're at the top of your game. You are doing it. And you use the expression, what the duckery. And I might be quoting it wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. Because voice text, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like sometimes voice text does not like me. And, it's...
me too.
So I'm like, it was just a surprise. It was a surprise of, hey, you're killing it. You can look on social media and easily see the cadence of how you market and how you promote. And so that's actually one thing I enjoy. I think it's a double-edged sword, right? Because we know social media can be a gift and it can be a curse, right? If it's like used or abused. So essentially, I mean, you could even at that season, you could go on the cadence of my marketing on social and see who was really driving the results. I feel it was my team and I that were driving some great results. And when you're in your work lane and the politics aren't results in production, there's a challenge. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like that essentially, right, should be normal and customary legit politics are your results and your production, at least in sales. Like let's just take ourselves to like sales. Like this isn't, God bless UPS or FedEx, right? It's like it's not one of those tenured, hey, you're here for a million years, so you get this.
Right.
There are no normal and customary literal pensions, as it were, in real estate sales. We've cracked the code on some benefits that pay in dividend style payments. However, for the masses, there are no pensions. And so because of that, it's easy to document, hey, if your results based compensation has gone up and yet we're saying you're not doing a great job, there's something else awry. And I think when we peek underneath the hood and hold people accountable, it's a healthy thing, because how we treat people defines us.
So one of the references that you shared in your chapter in the 7 Lessons to Thrive, you called it your audio has to match your video.
Yeah.
Describe that to me. What do you mean by that?
So, walking the talk, talking the walk. It's like, hey, your actions scream so loud, I can't hear a word you say.
Okay.
Show me. It's also in a movie, right? Show me the money. It's like,
yeah.
Right? So your actions. So don't, and listen, I'll take it back to getting healthy. I've dropped literally 98 pounds in the last year, and I feel way better. And I couldn't continue to literally eat cheeseburgers, right, quite consistently every single week and claim I wanted to get healthier and drop weight. The audio has to match the video. What you say, I mean, I haven't been a single digit size since I was single digit age. I kid you not. Okay. And now I'm a single digit size and I'm not a single digit age. And so I feel like the audio has to match the video. If you say you want to do what you love for work, then be the video of the actions and do it.
I love that. I know that we've never talked about this. Literally, I think it's only been an email, but you shared, you're talking about this health journey that you were on, and you went through some things, and wrote a book. And there was like this crazy turbulence, right?
Yeah.
But how do you feel now that your story is out, and it's not even the biggest piece of your story, truth be told, right? Because there's way more. But how do you feel today, knowing what you've gone through this last year, knowing like creating this book, working with this group of women? How do you feel in the sense of, do you feel relief? Are you ready for the next chapter? What is going on in there?
Yeah, I love that. I love the way you frame that too. I'm a moderator too, so I'm like, oh, so good, so good. So how do I feel? Well, firstly, I feel seen, because the other brilliant authors in this Breaking the Glass Ceiling book cast light on their story. So I feel seen in that, I'm literally not the only one grappling with these issues and challenges and the juggling factor and all things. So I feel completely seen. And I feel like I'm just getting started somehow. I'm in business for 25 consecutive years. And I joke around. I say it's good eye cream and melanin, because I'm both, right, Black and Puerto Rican, right? And so I'm like, oh, thank God for melanin. And I've been in business longer than outside of it in my life. And so I feel like I am so ready. I'm ready to do a series of books, because I feel like we need to create things that outlive us to tell our story and to be someone else's survival guide, respectfully. You know what I mean? Because your story is so impactful and incredible, and can literally be the prescription, as it were, for someone else who's grappling with a similar, scenario or challenge or life event. And so I just feel like we have such a great opportunity to truly create impact, to just lift someone up as we're evolving. And I'm so ready. I'm so ready for this book to have a bright light casted upon it. And I'm really ready for what's next, and just growing. I think, you know, we have a societal responsibility to thrive.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I agree.
You know?
You also talk about, so you refer to yourself as the Black Latina business owner.
Yep.
And I know, you know, we've talked a lot about, like, in the process of creating the book and what it means to break the glass ceiling, right? We've shared in our groups, so to speak, like our meetings every week about, you know, some of the adversities that we all face. And you said something else that really stuck out to me. And I wondered if it aligned with why you call yourself the Black Latina owner. You said we must be paid differently.
Oh yeah.
What what are you talking about? I want to know what does that look like?
Sure. Well, that literally looks like receiving money for our past efforts,
Mm-hmm.
for what we've done in the past. So imagine a place where, let's just fast forward, 5 years from now is the year 2028.
Mm-hmm.
Think, how old are your, you know, how old's your spouse? How old are your children, your great godchildren, whoever you have in your world? Like, go to 5 years from now in the year 2028 and imagine that you're getting mailbox money. You're getting dividend like money for maybe platforms or companies or elements that you've built in the past that are a well-oiled machine or product or e-commerce. There's so many ways to crack this code, and yet you've monetized your strengths so that 5 years from now you're receiving, throw out a number, I don't know if it's 6 figures a month or 6 figures a year or whatever that jam is for you. It could be 8 figures a month, whatever that is for you. But we have to figure out and really monetize our strengths so that we can have generational wealth and big income coming in for assets we've created in the past. Whether that's owning real estate, whether that's e-commerce or selling your, you know, widget, or just monetizing your genius, because we can't just own a job or own a business for that matter and constantly have to trade time for money. We have to work differently. I mean, even the great Beyonce said, "Pay me in equity." It's in a song, I promise. I won't sing because I'll shatter the entire system. I'll break the internet. I'm tone deaf. I don't want to brag. And yet we need to get paid in equity moving forward so that you wake up to income. So once I achieve that, I am teaching wealth building to brown kids in the hood for free every single week.
I love it.
That's the jam. Like, I am so crystal clear. Now I do it quarterly for free. And I have to remember, in this season right now, in my early 40s, I have a financial responsibility in my household. Right. And so, but once that retirement is just teaching wealth building to really deserving people who could really never pay me back. That fills my heart.
I love it. That's beautiful. Oh, I love that. So you also talk about, you refer to boys club.
Oh, that's so the tea, isn't it?
Well,
because you know what? I don't do well in the boys club. You know, I'm not and turns out I'm not a boy.
No.
Breaking news. Now, listen, I have a lot of incredible, right? So let me just, the proverbial disclaimer. I have a lot of incredible men who I am in business with actively, who, you know, I've been in business with, who I consult, who hire me on a very regular basis to guide them through business and scaling and growing. And there is that politics element, right? That sometimes it's just, if it doesn't pass the whiff test, you know, and you just have to audit and interrogate that and make sure, you know, the politics are results in production, or that you are getting compensated to the degree of your contributions.
Yeah.
That, for us, I mean, for women overall, I feel obviously there's the wage gap, right? That, I mean, we've seen it in professional sports. We've seen it, and that's real.
It is.
It's, you know, and it's an epidemic of sorts. And so in business, and so I don't do great with the boys club. And listen, I'm being a little facetious, right? there's no actual boys club, and yet it's an unspoken, it's undeniable when you look at who gets which opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say we need to own our DNA on the fact that I see so many of us in terms of Latina, Hispanic,
Mm-hmm.
amazing, talented women who wait to throw their hat in the ring
Yeah.
or over prepare, right, Hannah? Like over prepare
Yeah.
before they pursue a role. That can't be either. So we also have to own our DNA on it and help each other. You know, I would tap you on the shoulder and say, you need to be on the Today Show with this book,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like we need to help elevate each other because it's a disservice
Mm.
to us as a culture if we don't push each other because you're prepared. I love it. What do you bring to the table? Mira, we brought the table. How about that?
Yes, we built it and then we brought it to you. I love that. Own your DNA. So if in the sense of this book, what is one thing that you really truly hope happens in terms of a shift? You know, I think we said this in the live. This book isn't just for Latinas. This book
Right.
is for men and women across the
Everybody.
board. Yeah. So what are you hoping in the sense of, you know, the title Breaking the Glass Ceiling? What are you hoping to accomplish with this book?
Exposure, impact, and awareness. I think there's like awareness that will cause engagement, right? I mean, what do I dream about when I'm awake, right? Like I dream about having the book synthesized into a Netflix series to
Mhm.
say, hey, let's really, like, you want to read about it? It's great.
Mhm.
You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And I feel like seeing it on a larger global platform would serve the world
Mhm.
because then it's giving permission to someone else to then cast light on their story. And, you know, we can't complain about what we tolerate,
That's right. You're right.
right? And so
That
I
is
feel
true.
like, yeah, amen, right? So like, hey, we need to stop that tolerance. And the question is, how do you embed change? Not
Mhm.
just do a season or a little sizzle or like one little, series or no, how do you embed change? It needs to be seen. So holler,
You're
Hulu, Netflix.
Yes. I think it's like you said, it's our responsibility to step up. That's what the book means to me is we can show the solidarity of women. I mean, let's be real. Most of us didn't even know each other. The entire book was built virtually, literally, with the exception of most of us meeting, I think, one time on the
Mm,
East Coast at the event. But other than that, we had to really form a unification and talk about like, what is this going to look like? What is the goal? What is one of the end games to this? What is the message? And for those who are listening and watching and those who are going to actually grab this book and read it, you're going to see so many different culture issues in the sense of like one of the girls in her chapter shares, you know, she's Latina. According to society, Latina women are supposed to have a bunch of children,
mm,
but that isn't, you know, and then when you don't, you're judged.
mm.
Or another one shares, you know, loss and how she experienced it in the Latina culture. But the fact is, who put those stigmas and say we have to have that?
Right.
Society. So I'm hoping like in the title, Breaking the Glass Ceiling, I'm hoping, yes, that, and we already have, I mean, it's selling like hotcakes, right? But
Hmm.
the messages that are in there, what I'm hoping to see happen, and I know this can only happen if we all have that similar vision, and that is stop seeing us as a minority. Stop us, stop
And
the
stop
assumption.
typecasting
Yes.
us,
Stop
right?
assumptions
Yeah.
and understand like there's a big table for everyone to sit at together. And I think it talks about like understanding the different cultures. That's a big piece of an entrepreneurial journey, right?
Yeah.
How many of us travel across the country, across the world to do business? If we don't study other business cultures, other languages, other ways that people move, how can we call ourselves true entrepreneurs, true speakers, true authors if we're not willing to open our hearts to learn other cultures, other everything?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping with this book, I hope that people like, they're like, wow, now we get it. I even said it. After you read this book, you're gonna want to be Latina. I'm
Welcome to the
serious,
party.
right? Because we're strong, we're passionate, we're sassy, we're intelligent, we're all of those
We're
things.
resourceful, right?
Very.
Like, don't you
And
feel like Liam Neeson sometimes, that actor? Like, I will find a way.
yes,
You know?
and we're great detectives. So it's just, what I'm saying is number one, I'm so proud of you for
Thank you.
sharing your story, for sticking through it, because there's a story behind this story. And maybe one day you're going to share it. Who knows?
Sure.
But there's so many ways to utilize our voices, our influence for good, and you're doing that.
High five. I love
You're
it.
doing it.
Thank
You're
you.
doing it. You're teaching other women to do the same. You're teaching men to do the same. So thank you so much for coming on with me today and
Thank
sharing a
you.
little bit. Everyone, grab her book, Breaking the Glass Ceiling, all over Amazon, 13 countries, still going strong. It is a must read.
Oh my
7
gosh.
Lessons to Thrive. Breaking the Glass Ceiling, Dana Cadena. Thank you
Ah,
so much. I'm so excited and
thank you,
congratulations.
lovely. Thank you for your brilliance and everything you do to support the book and us and all of your brilliance. Thank you.
How can people find you if they want to continue to follow your journey, get to know
Oh, thank
you?
you. Oh
What's the
my gosh,
best?
it's so easy, right? Like the Instagram show. Okay. It's not the Instagram, but I like to have fun. So it's Dana B. Cadena. It's literally my name with my middle initial, Dana B. Cadena on Instagram, and overachievercentral.com. That's where to find me.
Awesome. Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye, everyone.
Awesome. Have a great day.
You too.